Hey, it's Mopar Keith here this evening, and I'd like to do one more video on this car before we cover it up and put it away for the winter. We just got back from the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals, where this was featured in the Black and White Formal Mopar Invitational, and that's where 10 black cars with white interiors were assembled in one gathering. I'd like to do a walk around and show you a little bit about this car. We restored this here at Noel Automotive a few years ago, and we've shown it once and had it judged. It scored a 990, and we have since corrected some of the small imperfections about the car. Things like we had a scratched windshield. I can't even remember what else there was. Maybe an inspection mark that was missing or something like that. Some small scratches on this piece right here, and that was really about it. But we scored a 990. I bet if I took it back, it would be at least a 993, 994, something like that. But at any rate, we don't need to have it judged anymore. This car is as good as it needs to be, and it's pretty much proven itself. But we're going to take it to the Carlisle Chrysler show in July out there in Pennsylvania. So let's do a walk around and show you some of the finer things about this car. First of all, I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but it is a NOS stripe. So this is, yeah, there we go. This is very much a reflective medallion on the back, and the letters are reflective. So we also want to note that all the strobe stripes are textured. And no, this doesn't have the extra thick one at number 6. This is just an NOS stripe, and that number 6 stripe anomaly is just a manufacturing defect. So it's not like they tried to do that. That's just the way some of them turned out. So this NOS stripe is nice and equal all the way. However, number 6 is the first of the next whitest stripe. So we counted off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 is where it starts to get wide. But some cars, this was actually a more narrow bar. But this one right here, it's kind of, I would call it symmetrical. So anyway, all textured stripes, and that's to replicate the organosol finish. Get up close and take a look at that. So the organosol finish on that is something that we sprayed on there. Now there's a lot of different formulas on organosol. This was an old formula provided by Frank Battleson, and we sprayed it on. Pretty nice. It went really well. So it's got a little bit of texture to it, but it's still smooth enough you can wipe it down. And then it also looks the same as the stripe. So reproduction stripes do not have this texture. They're just kind of like just a flat vinyl look. All right, so concourse restored, yes or no? Well, it's close, but I'll have to admit this is a base coat, clear coat job. Now, back when these cars were built, it was simply acrylic enamel. So to get a true concourse restoration, the first thing you have to do is spray it with acrylic enamel. So this, we decided, me and the owner decided that to make it nice, we would just make it nice and shiny. And it was probably going to be the same amount of money to spray it in acrylic enamel as base coat, clear coat, but he wanted the base clear. And we wet sanded and buffed it. It turned out really well. But this is not a concourse paint job. It's just a really nice paint job, but not concourse. Like I said, a true concourse paint job would be sprayed with acrylic enamel. Right before the show, we had to buff it out. We've buffed this car several times throughout the last 5 years. So the thing about black is it shows towel marks and little micro scratches. So every time you wipe down the car, or a bird flies overhead or something like that, and you have to wipe it down, you can actually get the micro scratches in that clear coat. So anyway, let's walk through it some more. We've got brand new glass, date coated all the way around. All brand new tinted glass, front and back. When we did the body work, we test fit all the chrome. Everything's nice and tight. We've got the original size polyglass wheels on it. You can see that red drum back there. NOS tailpipe tips with the little baffle in the middle. Let's take a look inside here. Now, of course, the interior is not original. It is supposed to be a white interior, but of course it's not original. Everything's been replaced or refurbished in one way or another. So, it's super sanitary. Everything's been plated. No paint or overspray or anything like that, so everything's been replated or brand new. Seat belts have been redone. Let's see, let's take a look here. See a tag on the back of one of these. Here we go. Here's a tag. So all the tags and everything, all the webbing is brand new printed tags. Dash is all in organosol. New carpet, of course. Everything is either new or replated. It's a little bit dirty after the car show. It could use one more wipe down. But I personally did the headliner in it. We put the interior together. The owner, Greg, helped. Like I said, once again, everything's been plated. No RPM or anything like that. Now, I've done some other videos on the bottom of this car. And I'll tell you what, we did primer overspray and inspection marks. So you can imagine the bottom of the car looks pretty good. You can just tell that thing shuts perfect. Now let's go around here. So a lot of care has been given to the engine bay. We've got date-coded numbers matching carburetors. Just everything's been date-coded and the best that we can come across. Restoration on the alternator, restoration belts, original radiator, restoration battery, of course. Once again, everything's been plated. Take a look at the fender tag here. Try to get the right clamps, the right kind of hose, red anodized clamps there on the booster, some inspection marks, rebuilt wiper motor, plating. Now, when we first built the car, we did spray the exhaust manifolds orange, but as we've driven the car and put some time on it, the owner actually found some better exhaust manifolds, and we had those ceramic coated. We decided to not paint them orange. Idle stop solenoid, correct finish on the carburetor, stampings. What else can we talk about? There's actually a QR code. Greg has produced the history of the car. There's a restored dash and VIN number. Correct screws and plating, gaskets. The correct washer wipers, or washer nozzles, I mean. Let's go to the trunk here. The right finish on the spoiler. Once again, organosol. Get the light in here. Now, this car did need some metal work, and I did all the refinish work myself. Me and my guys did the metal work and body work, but we did the quarter panels, sprayed all of that before we welded the quarter panels on. Like I said, everything's been plated. No fizz can stuff here. Alright, let's pull up this rubber mat here and show you some of the things back here. Alright, so this is an ECS mat with the right stampings on there. Tried to replicate the seam sealer, the way the undercoating was sprayed on and masked off for the marker light hole. And one thing that's unique about AARs, of course, is their side exhaust. And these holes are pre-drilled when they do this trunk floor, because every car produced has single exhaust at least, if not dual exhaust, and they have a right side tailpipe. Now the tailpipe hanger is actually bolted right here through the trunk floor, and we've taken apart some factory cars before, and they simply just put the strip caulking in the holes to plug those up. Now on the other side, peel this mat up here carefully. Now on the other side, those holes are not drilled. So on a dual exhaust car, you would have these two holes drilled, and then you'd have a bracket here to hold the tailpipe and the rear muffler, and then these would also have a bracket here. So you can see once again the stampings on the mat. This is an ECS mat. It's supposed to be the most correct mat that you can find out there. Collapsible spare. See if we can get in there and get a good look at that. Correct trunk floor on there with the right body plugs. So everything's been plated. No fizz can stuff. Chrysler did not have aerosol plating or coatings. So it's either acrylic enamel or it's plated. Rear antenna. Got the jack in the right place there. When I did the quarter panels, I had to weld on these hooks up here. So I made sure that we welded these back in the original spot. That's the car cover bag. Alright, this is the correct trunk lid with all the right cutouts. Let's see, what else can we talk about? That's about it. This is a 12-minute video so far. Probably gone through enough. 15 by 8 309 wheels, or 390 wheels, sorry. So the famous 390 wheel. Dimpled lug nuts. Now this is something that can be debated. The valve stem extension, some people have a plastic center, like a white plastic center. These are the metal center. It's like a kind of almost like a ball bearing in there. Tell me what you think on that. Should it be the white plastic center or the ball bearing? The metal ball bearing on there. It's got wide mouth calipers. If you know these Trans Am cars on what they're supposed to have, wide mouth calipers. Everything's plated and finished off the right way. And we actually left the left hand lug nuts on this. We did not replace those for right-handers, so everything is left-handed. It still has the correct lug nuts, so those were a little hard to find. Left-hand studs with the correct lug nuts. So yeah, after the muscle car and Corvette Nationals and that black and white formal, this thing has really gained popularity, and I've been seeing pictures and videos of it all over the internet. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please comment. Please subscribe to my channel. We try to showcase mostly Mopar stuff, but we do work on other muscle cars here, but mostly Mopar. This is the next one that we're going to restore. Now this is a 25-ish year old paint job, and the paint job itself wasn't too bad, but it was all the grossness underneath of it. So this car, it deserves a proper restoration. So we blew this thing apart today, pulled the drivetrain out of it. So yeah, we'll do more videos on that thing right there. Now we've got another car back here. This is one that we did a while ago. Now the owner's wanting to sell this car. This is a 69 440 4-speed car. And that's also a really nice concourse restoration. So Well, that's it for Mopar Keith at Noel Automotive. Keep watching. Thanks.